I waited 11 months and 25 days for this tarantula to molt, and this is what I got. So, yep, this is, as you could see by the beginning little clip that I did, 11 months and 25 days ago was the last time that this tarantula was recorded to have molted. That's a long time for a tarantula this size to go without molting. This is a Salmopaeus pulcher. This is tannin. This was the suspected male. That has to now continually be a suspected male, because you saw the molt, it was completely destroyed. There's still a piece of leg back there from the molt. I'm going to say that he molted probably within, I'd say, 3 to 6 days ago, because today's actually watering day for that shelf and the 2 shelves below it. That's why I found him. He's been in pre-molt for a while. It's been roughly 64 days since he's eaten. And that goes to the female pulcher that's next to him. I was really hoping he would mature. I'm not disappointed that he didn't, but I really expected him to mature this time. I really wanted to breed this year with this guy. But again, I'm not 100% sure that it's a male. It's a suspected male, but we're not 100% positive. I've not got a real good clear ventral. He does seem to look a tad bit different ventrally than my females do, but again, I can't get a clear picture, and you can see why. His whole entire outside part of his enclosure where he hangs out is completely webbed to the plastic. So, you know, the contemplating on rehousing, or, you know, taking him out of here and cleaning this up just to get a ventral picture of him may be something I need to do, because if this one happens to be female, then I'm going to need to look for a male. So yeah, I got a pretty good look at his pedipalps. There's no emboli, no hooks, no nothing. So yeah, that's update number 1. Salmopaeus pulcher, still suspected male. Hopefully we'll be able to see him in a feeding video sometime next week. Okay, so I'm going to update you on the 5 new arrivals that came, depending on when this video goes up, whether it goes up on Thursday or if it goes up tonight, Wednesday. These are the guys that came in today, Wednesday, the 11th. First, I'm going to do the ones that I rehoused yesterday. If you remember, the Canthoscuria musculosa is getting close to a pre-molt, not darkened yet, but it didn't darken the last time. And you could see where it dug a hole right there. So let's turn it around and see what we can see, if anything at all. And here's what you get. There's the little bugger right there. Best that you can see. You know, you could see here he looks a little bit darker than he did yesterday, actually. So he kind of just dug right down there, and that's where he's going to be at. So that's the Canthoscuria musculosa. The Brachypelma vagans pretty much did the same exact thing. Right there is the entrance to the burrow, but we can't see him because of a little bit of condensation that's here from being against a cooler wall and the heat being on. This stuff will all go away as the temperature rises here. It's starting to get warmer anyway, but yeah, so we're going to springtail these guys. Probably all of these enclosures, we're probably going to throw some springtails in here just to let them clean things up and try to cut back on any mold that might decide that it wants to rear its ugly head, even though we haven't had any with this substrate that I've been using. The next ones This is the Pteronochelys lugardi. Now you can see what it did. Okay, and I put these sticks and stuff over on this side just for kind of ground cover, but you could see what it made right there. It webbed a nice little spot right by the water dish, and it created its own little home there. So it's got, I don't know how far it's dug down, if it dug down at all, but it utilized some of these sticks that I put in there to make its little home. The Bumba cabocla is just wandering. Just moving around, nothing major. Hasn't dug anything, and you can see again we're getting a little bit of this condensation. I'm not overly concerned about it at the moment, but it may be something I need to poke a few holes in a few of these. And what I would do is, if I had to, I would just put a vial over top of the spider and then, you know, hold the vial and then drill a couple more holes in there if need be, or I would just get the spider out of there and put it back in. But we're going to see how it goes. The only ones out of all my enclosures that are getting any kind of condensation are the ones that are on that shelf up top, and it's mostly with this substrate, because the substrate will hold moisture a little bit better. So I'm not going to be overly concerned about it until I start seeing some stuff grow, but I am going to throw some springtails in there. So that's those two that got rehoused yesterday. And then we have the last two. Well, actually there was more than the last two, right? What did we miss? Yeah, there should have been... Oh, that's right, we moved that one into a bigger one. This is the Lasiodora klugi, and you can see what this one has done. Completely sealed itself off inside that little burrow I pre-made for it underneath that dirt. And this is another one that I expect to at least have hair pretty soon, because it's still got that fresh new sling look without much hair. So this one should be molting sometime in the near future. And then the last one in the baseball enclosure, it probably could have went into a softball enclosure, is the Homoioma species blue. And again, these ones, you know, my experience with the bigger one is it's never burrowed, it never dug. It will hide underneath the thing that I put in there, but that's not anything that's really deep. And this one is just out wandering all the time. So that's those guys. Now, the Pteronochelys species, they really haven't moved, to be honest with you. Here is number 2, right? Number 3. This is the Tete number 3. Still sitting in the same spot that it was earlier. Here is the Mozambique number 2. This is the littlest one. Still sitting right there. Here is the Tete number 1. Right there in the corner. Still sitting in the same exact spot. And this is the Tete number 2, right? Nope, this is the Mozambique number 1. Where are you? Maybe this is the only one that actually moved. Oh, no, it didn't. That's right. It's right there. That's exactly where it went. See, it's right against the edge of the wood right there. So that's those ones. And then this one here. This is the only one that really did anything, and it just kind of climbed up in the corner. It's been sitting there. So that's the new rehousings that were done yesterday, and the new arrivals that came today. I will get down the other 3 that I rehoused in the softball enclosures, and we'll take a look at the Plesiopelma species Bolivia, and I'll give you guys a quick gander at the Brachypelma bamey male. Matter of fact, we could probably do that right now while we're here. There is that gorgeous little guy, Morton. He stretches out at night and hangs out, you know, across there like that, and then he's just hanging there right now. So that's them. Let me get down. I'll try and get him down too, so we get a better look at him. But let me get down the ones that are in the softball enclosures. We'll get these baseball enclosures put back on the shelf. Okay, here's a closer look at Morton. They're just stunning. I mean, Mexican tarantulas are just stunning. All of them. Even Brachypelma albopilosum, Brachypelma vagans, they are all gorgeous in their own way. You can can see how prominent that orange is on their knees. Very, very, very prominent. He's doing well, like I said. Not doing much, but doing okay. So I thought I'd just give you guys a closer look at him. We'll take a picture and I'll probably use him as the thumbnail. It's hard to not want to use that guy as a thumbnail, huh? So maybe we'll take a second picture a little closer up, huh? Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay, let's get with the last 3 rehouses that I did, and then one of the last tarantulas to molt. We're going to go ahead and try and feed it. Okay, so here's the Ornithoctone species louse. Kind of hard to see, again, just because of where it decided to live. It's going to be hard for me to take pictures of it. It did kind of what I expected it to. That's kind of why I put that piece of cork bark right there, but it's right there. You can see it right there. Maybe with the light over here, huh? Maybe not. Too much glare. Yep, too much glare. But you can at least see the tarantula there. That's where it's kind of made. Dug just a little bit, but it webbed just a little bit here. I'm hoping over the course of the next couple of days this one will web up like he did the last one, but my female hasn't done much webbing either. And if you remember when I was talking about this guy the other day, saying I wouldn't be disappointed if it was male, because I have the female, but to be honest with you, ventrally, I got a good ventral shot of this one and a good ventral shot of my other one. They look exactly the same. So odds are that this one is a female as well. Which will not break my heart, because hopefully by the time these two get to breeding age, we'll be able to find a few males out there. That would be kind of nice, huh? So there's the Sazame. You could see it utilized its old home. The skull hasn't done much. Again, because there was a small roach in the Sazame's old container, it kind of went in with it. So I'm assuming that it ate it. You could see the little roach right there from the Ornithoctone species louse. I have found that this particular tarantula, this one itself, now I don't know about the female, this roach was a little bit bigger than I normally would feed it, but still well within reason for it to take down. It didn't touch it, but when I threw a smaller cricket in there, it took it right away. It has eaten nice small nymphs, red runners, but for some odd reason this is like a nymph plus. Doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So like I've told many people before, I don't mind leaving them little guys in there. The roaches will not do anything to your tarantula. They're not going to hurt it. The only thing that I would be worried about is if the tarantula was molting and in the middle of the molting process and the roach climbed over it. That would probably be a little bit distressful for the animal, but for the most part, I generally leave roaches alone. I just kind of leave them in there. The Phormictopus cancerides, again, it's in pre-molt, and you can see what it did. That is fresh dirt from down below. That is the burrow. You can see the piece of wood right there. It dug. I'm not sure exactly which way it dug, but it dug because, I mean, the burrow was going underneath the wood. It actually moved the leaves out of the way and dug that hole there and then filled it up. So I expect to see this one in about 4 weeks or so emerge looking different and bigger and hungry. Okay, so I'm going to pause you guys. I'm going to get something for this Plesiopelma species Bolivia to eat, and we're going to throw that in there. Okay, I'm holding the camera because I want to. I found 3 really tiny crickets, the last 3 that are left in the bin, so we're going to throw them in there. And it can eat them as it wants, but hopefully it'll come out and take one down. Or it's going to take one down. We're not going to see. Yep, there it goes. Of course, the lighting. I was hoping it would come out. But you know how crickets are. They like to investigate holes in the ground. There's another one right there. See if it'll grab that one too. Nope. One's enough for you right now. Come on up so everybody can see you. And I just don't have the... There. Why didn't I just do this in the first place? This is, you can see this is a Energizer stand-up plate. It's got a magnet on the end, so it, like where the metal is on the table, it'll stick to. Of course, that's what a magnet does. But if I keep this light seems to work pretty decent from behind. If I don't have those little plug-in lights attached to anything. But nice looking tarantula, nice little red abdomen. Pretty similar to Brachypelma vagans, Sericopelma rubronitans. They all kind of resemble each other. But this is a really, really interesting species, and not a lot of people have these. This is a reason why I chose to get this one a long time ago. Last year, as a matter of fact, got it in pretty small. And it's molted like 3 or 4 times. And there's, you can see the red on the abdomen. It'll web a little bit and hang out. So that's kind of my goal at Buffalo is, you know, I mean, whatever I do with Ruth, I do. But I'd like to walk out of Buffalo with one tarantula that's just not you just don't see every day. You know what I'm saying? Something that you don't see a ton on Facebook, something you just don't see a lot on the Facebook groups. That's why I really like some of the Asian species, because not a lot of people have a lot of them here, especially like the Ornithoctone species Laos, Ornithoctonus oreotibialis, so that one's a little bit more popular than the species Laos is. You know, the hotty, another one, you know, these new Taranochelis, it's not like they've not been in the United States before, but I have not ever seen them for sale as slings before this. I think there are a few people that had adults, but not many. So, you know, those things kind of catch my eye, and, you know, if they're in a genus or species that I'm interested in, not species, but a genus that I'm interested in, then I will, you know, try and get something. I'd like to get something oddball in the Aphonopelma genus. Something that's a little bit different. I know there's a dwarf one. I wouldn't mind picking that one up. I'd have to look up the name of that one, but yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that. Or the bicoloratum is going to be really tough to find. They kind of look like Brachypelma bainey, I believe. They're kind of hard to tell apart, but if you know how to tell an Aphonopelma from a Brachypelma, they're not all that hard to really tell apart. Something cool in the Phormictopus species would be fun too. You know, like, oh, there's a couple of them. I can't remember what they are. I'd have to look. The green femurs seem to be a little bit more popular now, but I think there's a gold something or another. Again, I'm not huge on the Phormictopus genus, so I don't know a lot of them, but I wouldn't mind picking something else up from that. I want a nice terrestrial. Again, we'll talk about terrestrial and arboreal and fossorial again in a video soon, because I still think people are not understanding that whole process. Matter of fact, I might even film that today. You know, I might just set something up here and film that today. And I'll just fill a box up with dirt and kind of show you guys what I'm trying to talk about. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And again, just an update. I know they're not all that exciting. I know a lot of people like the updates, but some people don't generally like the updates. So if you guys have any suggestions, again, please. I mean, I keep asking, but if you have suggestions on videos you'd like to see, I'll do the best I possibly can to fulfill those wishes. But let me know, and we'll go from there. So yeah, look forward to the terrestrial fossorial debate and the semi-arboreal and arboreal debate. And what my views are, and a handful of other people I've talked to kind of feel the same way. So I hope you guys will kind of get what I'm saying. But yeah, that'll coming up probably in the next day or two. Sorry about that. I got cut off. I don't know what happened. I was watching, I was talking, and all of a sudden the screen just went off. I think it might be time to get a new phone. I don't want to. I like this phone, and all my little attachments, you know, my macro attachments and everything are perfect for this phone. I don't want to have to buy new ones. And I really don't. I mean, if I bought anything, I'd probably move up to an S7 or something, but yeah, I don't know. So yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and you know, give me some feedback. You know, hit that like button if you do. Don't forget to hit the bell. I know some of you do, because like within minutes after my video coming out, people are commenting on it. So I know that people have that bell hit, and you know, I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that you guys enjoy wanting to watch my stuff, and hopefully there'll be some pretty cool things here in the next month, you know, leading up to the Buffalo Expo, and then afterwards. My brother's again on the hunt for a milk snake. I got Trey Beck on investigative duty, trying to find one for me, or find one for him, not for me. But yeah, so let me know what you guys want to see, and again, don't forget to ask me some questions. We're going to try and do a Q&A at the end of the month. I would do it live if I had enough questions to start out with, and then I'd have to do a trial run with one, because I'd have to set up my computer so that I could see the feed while I'm filming with the camera. And then again, my problem with my camera is that it's been overheating a few times, so I worry about it cutting out in the middle of filming because it overheated. So okay, look forward to that terrestrial, fossorial, semi-arboreal, arboreal kind of deal. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.